Welcome back, Captains, to another edition of Tips and Tricks for Star Trek Online. I have loaded up my one of my favorite captains because she is maxed out in the fun R&D. And yes, that will be today's topic is research and development. The main reason for this is after just playing through the tutorial on my new Discovery Captain, there's a lot of things that, especially your getting captains, need that you can either buy on the exchange or you can make yourself. Well, as a new captain, you don't have the ability yet to really create things. This is why it's always nice to have a crafting tool. You only need one for your entire account, honestly. What I usually do is, notice I have level 20 in everything. This took a long time. This is not a small grind. This actually took over almost 2 years to complete everything to 20. So it is not something that's going to happen quickly. As a matter of fact, you don't technically have to go up to 20. 15 is all you really need to create everything. Everything over 15, all it really does is give you a better chance on the high-end gear. What I generally do on most of my other captains, when they run projects and everything, whenever they get any of the components, like these, I transfer them using my account bank. Here, usually what I'll do is I'll empty out this and I'll load it up with the other captains, and I'll come back to this tune and retrieve it all. I do keep like the basics, the crafting materials, the gases, and all these others that are not components. Those I'll keep on the captains because you never know when you may need it for various things, especially for upgrading. Once you start upgrading, of course this captain does not have it anymore because she's maxed out at 20, but there's a daily mission. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and swap over to a captain that doesn't have that so that you can see what I'm talking about. I will go to this one. There we go. Alrighty. R&D. Notice I have her just at level 15. I do this for the traits. Every time you hit level 15, you will get a trait. Traits. And they can usually be distinguished from the other traits by these lines. Like this one, the penetrating rounds is the one you get from the ground. And there's one for kits. Technophile. You get this one from kits. Space. You see, you get beams from the beam. You get cannoneer from cannons. Let's see. Give it your all from engineering. This one from your shields. Connect precision from your torpedoes or projectiles. Particle manipulation from your science. So these traits are very good and very helpful, so it's always good to at least get to level 15 in all your schools on every captain. Like I said, you don't need 20 on all of them. Just one is fine. But yeah, this is the big one, is to level it up, is your daily. Basically, this is a 20-hour cooldown. It gives you 6,000 XP, 7,000 if you crit it, and I think once you hit level 8 or level 10 in the school, you can almost always be guaranteed a crit at that point. So between 6,000 and 7,000, and then if there's a research, an R&D weekend, this will be 9,000 or 10,000. But this is your daily that you need to do until you get it up to level 15. The best way of doing it, When you first start out, you will only have one slot. What I recommend is if you're going with beams, then start in your beams. If you're going to be a cannon build, then do cannons. And you can do up to 3 of these per day once you get these unlocked. As a matter of fact, once it starts, you get the first one for free. The second one is once you hit tier 1 or level 1 in any one school, it'll open up a second slot. Then when you hit level 5, you get a third slot. And then when you hit level 5 in 3 different ones, you'll get a 4th slot. And the 5th slot will be when you hit level 15 in any one school. And the 6th slot is actually from your research lab. If you're in a fleet, there is an option for a research lab. Matter of fact, let me do mine. Research lab. And once you hit tier 3, no, excuse me, I can't remember which tier it is that will open up the option for there is a daily 20-hour cooldown. As a matter of fact, let's go there real quick so you can see. And this is the way I normally do it on a new toon. I would show you on my Discovery toon, but she's not level 15 yet, which is what is required to do this. So I can go here. I will transwarp straight to my Fleet Research Lab. This is one of the advantages of being in a fleet, is you can get access to these, and it's preferable to be in a higher level fleet, of course. But once you're here, you can contact control and beam in. One thing I do is, because I have so many alts, I will transfer the lithium from all my characters, who usually have a little bit with them. I will transfer that over to my new character, and usually about 100,000-ish, for one reason. If you come straight across to this glowing console, it says Trait and R&D Project Slot Store. Okay, it's missing because I have it, but for 100,000 fleet credits, you can open up that 6th project at any time. This is why I'll transfer to lithium, because it's the easiest thing, especially in my fleet. I'll just pull up some of the projects. Oh, this one needs duty officers, but usually duty officers and dilithium all need this. This is why I transfer 100,000 to lithium. One, it's about one of the few things that can almost always be needed by your fleet, and it's easy to do. The bad part is it's a 1-for-1, so for every 1 dilithium you get 1 fleet credit. So as things go, it's the worst one for earning fleet credit, but it's almost always has a project open and everything. See, dilithium only, everything else fills up quickly. Especially Fleet Marks fills up the fastest because it's I think a 25-to-1. For every 1 fleet credit you submit, you get 25, or excuse me, for every 1 mark you get 25 credits. So this is actually the best one to earn a lot of credits. But if you're in a small fleet, it's not too bad. But then again, you'll have a low level fleet, so it's harder to get the upper end items. Matter of fact, this one's almost done, so I will contribute to it. Which will get that one kicked off. It takes a couple of minutes. Things have seemed to slow down since. But yeah, so I will come here, I will get that extra slot, and it will not appear immediately. You actually have to change maps until it will appear, but that will, if you're able to do that, then that will give you 2 slots immediately. Oops, wrong one. while you're leveling up, this is the best place to go. If you come to this duty officer, if you have them. Okay, ours is currently at tier 3. Yours may be at 1 or 2 or may not be available yet. This is highly recommended. If you run this mission, and of course it'll auto-assign the duty officers as long as you have them. Once this is created, it will give you 2,000 research bonus. I'm all about the bonuses. Of course there's no bonuses here right now, but that will give you 2,000 additional. But no, this is the guy that I really like. Come over here, research and development missions. And now you have one mission for 20-hour cooldown for every school. And you can only do it once. So you need to choose your school carefully. Matter of fact, I will probably redo this on my Discovery Tune so you can see exactly, because I'm not going to run it on this one because she's already maxed. But what I will usually do is the very first thing, as soon as I hit level 15, I will transfer here. I will come here, I will pick up that duty officer mission, and then I will come over here and I will run the beams mission. And I'll go ahead and accept it. But this gives an extra mission right here. Of course, you have to have the components for it. So it's always good to harvest everything everywhere you can. Or if you have a tune that has a lot, you can always just transfer it down. But it will give this mission. It takes 10 seconds to complete, and it will give you 5,000 XP in whichever school you have chosen. I'll go ahead and begin it. Start it. Notice it says right here, you'll get 2,500 XP. Okay, that's completed in 10 seconds, so I will collect it. And that gave me 7,500 research. So it was 5,000 for the mission, and then additional 2,500 for the that I got awarded from the mission. And then I will go back to him, and I will collect here. Alright, notice it will give me dilithium, and this is a dilithium weekend, so I get a bonus dilithium. You'll get 15,000 energy credits, and then you get these particular items. Here's the fun part about this. Alright, go ahead and collect that. If I go over here to the beams, and I scroll down, because I'm level 15, I have access to these, the superior tech upgrades. These are, notice they are unlocked at level 15, which is another reason, because these are highly valuable. This is what you need to upgrade your equipment. Notice I'm missing these components because, like I said, I have transferred all components over to my main crafter. Well, remember those components I just got from this guy for this mission? You can create. You get one of these, you get the components to create both of these, and you got the 15,000 EC. So basically you got everything you need to create one of these. Matter of fact, I will go ahead and do just that. Here's another trick. I will go ahead and do this. Click details. These are red. Well, if I click here, it will actually bring me to that. Notice it takes 2 of these and 3 of these. So I'll start that mission. I will come back here. I will do that again for the other component. 1 and 1. 1 and 2, and actually that is all the components that were given to us. So we wait for these projects to complete. So basically by running this mission once per day, you can collect the components to actually start creating the superior versions of the upgrades. Do that, go back to my beams, and now I have all the components necessary to build this. So I will build it. Okay, here's the thing about level 15 to level 20. Notice here, level 15, I have a 78% chance of critting on this, and a 22% chance of a success. I will create it no matter what. The crit will be, do I get 1 or 2? If I don't crit, then I'll just get 1. If I crit, I will get 2. If you go up to level 20, this becomes a much higher percentage. I might be wrong, but I'm almost positive it's 100% crit at level 20. You can raise this. I don't have any, but right here, Catalyst. If you had any Catalyst, there's a 10, 20, and 50. We'll add a little bit more to that, and you can actually increase it. So I'll start it, and I crit it, so I get 2 when this mission completes in 15 minutes. So that's very useful. But what I will do on especially a brand new character, I will come to the sky, I will run the mission for either beams or cannons, whichever one I was going to run that character, usually beams. I will run that mission. Now, he will prompt, hey, you're too low for this, are you sure you want to do it? Go ahead and do it. You may not get all of the components at that point, but you're not really caring about the components you get, you're caring about the XP. Matter of fact, if you complete that mission in 10 seconds, you will get at least level 1, usually level 2 in that school. Well, remember, in the R&D schools, you get the first one for free, the second one for hitting level 1 in any one school, and the third one you can buy right here at the fleet lab. So that means once that completes, you'll have 3 slots open immediately, and that will help you in getting your schools up. After I have the 3, I recommend keep going for the daily, and you can do this up to 3 times. Start it. So there you go. You can start 3 beams at once. Now after that, that mission will no longer be available, the same as when you hit level 20. So you can get all 3 of these going at once, and that will increase your speed of leveling up really fast. I think I've computed it out to approximately, well, actually let's do it this way. Cannons. It takes 600, I think it's 600,000 or 625,000 to go from level 0, basically nothing, up to level 15. Let's pull up a calculator. So 625,000, and we'll divide that by, say, 6,000, which is the minimum you will get. 104 days. Okay, now remember, that's only if you run the mission once per day. So if you run the daily once, it will take 104 days, actually 105 technically, since this does roll over. So 105 days to get 1 school up. But if you run 3, 35 days. So just over a month to get 1 school from 0 to 15. Now, once you actually start unlocking more, you can start a second school. So technically, like right now, if I didn't have that slotted, I could have 2 schools running. So once you get everything unlocked, you can get 2 schools going, and in just over a month, you can complete them all the way up to 15. Needless to say, this is another grind, so it does take time. And it takes a lot of time, but once you've completed it, then you're good. And as a matter of fact, I think it takes 2 million points to go from nothing all the way up to 20. So 2 million points, divide that by 6,000. 333, so a year. It will take you 1 year basically to go from level 0 to level 20 in 1 school. And of course, divide that by 3 if you can run 3, so 100, so just over 3.5 months if you run 3. my recommendations is to get everything to 15 first. Once you get everything to 15, then start working up to 20 and go with the ones that are most important, either beams or cannons. Uh, Usually kit modules do well, and science, I think, or projectiles. The best thing to do is just check the exchange. You can always check the exchange to find out how much the manuals are going for if you're wanting to make some money off of them. But they're also good for, of course, upgrading your equipment. So that's why we're really here. We need to get our equipment upgraded as we go along. So it's always really good here to just do these as and get them going. Like I said, I focus on beams first. Then depending on what my captain is, I'll usually go beams, then kits, then ground are the three I will focus on first. Mostly for the traits. Because the kit, once you hit 15 here, it helps on your kit modules. The ground helps your ground weapons. Beams and cannons helps those. If you're going for a torpedo boat, then you may want to focus on projectiles. If you're going science heavy, then you can focus on the science one. Shields and engineer, not so much, but again, they still have good traits. So it doesn't hurt to get them all up at least to 15. And you don't even have to take them all to 20. It was a personal project for me. Like I said, all my other alts only have 15, and then I usually stop. Actually, I'll come back over here to the bank. Again, and these are the manuals we're shooting for: the superior beam, superior cannons, engineering, ground, kits. Ooh, need more kits. Projectile, science, and shields. These are the kits that you really need to do if you're wanting to upgrade. Now there is one, if you looked, there was one that is slightly better. The Superior Tech Upgrade Experimental. These require salvage technology. You can only get these from elite STOs, and sometimes from Admiralty missions they may drop. If you really crit, you may get a salvage technology. Notice it takes 2 per to get those up. The biggest difference between these and these is these will just upgrade. Matter of fact, let's just pull up something real quick and just look at it. Oh, can't do that one. Upgrade. This will just do tech points. For example, this one has 12,800 tech points. So you're only going to get tech points from these. You will not get a chance of quality improvement. These give, I think it's a 2% quality improvement. So if you're shooting for those gold equipment, then these are the ones you really need, but they cost a little bit more in dilithium when using them. But that extra chance may be that little bit you need to crit. I have critted to gold from some items at very low. Usually, like I've done it just leveling it up to normal, because when I'm leveling up equipment, going up to level 15 now, it's possible that you can get up to gold, which is another thing. Crafting equipment. This is why most people will craft low-level equipment. For example, a beam. Let's say I'm just going to create an anti-proton beam. Well, you can create up to Mark 12, but if you look, here's what all you need to create a Mark 12. It's like, and your chances of getting a very rare are very low. You'll probably get a rare, an uncommon, or a common. It's like, well, okay, well, so your chances here are very low. Of course, as you go up to 20, these chances will get higher in the very rare. But if I do the same thing at a Mark II, look, very rare is now, I am guaranteed 100%. So this beam will have 3 modifiers right off the bat. As a matter of fact, this is one thing I'm doing, which is why I was moving over to my main crafter for my discovery tune. Crafting equipment for low level. Highly recommended, because most of the drops you'll get are white or green, the uncommons, and you might happen to get a rare occasionally, but the ultra rare or the very rares, you're not going to get. So what I'm doing on this character is I'm coming over, I need phaser relays, 100% chance to create a very rare. So I'm going to do that. And the ship I usually do 2 of these. Engineering. Low-level ships are turned like wounded elephants. So I am going to do some RCS accelerators. Again, 100% chance. This is the main reason for doing this, is that now my low-level tune will have high-level equipment that can last a long time, because I will actually put one upgrade, which, depending on which upgrade I put, if I put just the regular one, like what we just crafted, it will probably take you up to captain rank. If you do the Phoenix packs, which I have some, I don't have any of the upgrades, but I'll create one right here. This is an event that runs occasionally, and you can get these uncommon, and you can actually create Phoenix Universal Techs. Now, the nice thing about these are 51,200 tech points. Now, if you remember, the others, the top one was only 1,250, or 1,280, excuse me. So this is highly sought after for the tech points. And if you get an upgrade weekend, that's over 100,000 tech points that can be applied to one item. If you use one of these to upgrade equipment, it can take it from usually Mark 2 all the way up to Mark 10 or Mark 11, depending on what the equipment is, and depending on if it upgrades along the way. Let's go ahead and I want 2, 4, 6 of these. Alright. Put those back so I don't accidentally lose them.
An update to the Platinum exchange rate is available on the monitors.
Waiting for those projects to complete. Oh, science. I need a couple of science kits. Consoles, let's see. It doesn't really matter as much on low levels. Either the field generators, which give you increased capacity on your shields, or the shield emitters, which give you a better recharge rate or regen rate on the shields. Either of these are useful. I usually do one of each. I have to wait. I don't have another maintenance engineer to create that one, so I'll just wait. If you're missing a duty officer, you can always buy one from the exchange. Another option, and this is the one I have taken, if you're in a good fleet that has the K-13. This was the release not back with the Agents of yesterday a year or so ago. There is an option here. Let's see if I can find it. Very rare 23rd century duty officers. If you get the engineering to tier 3. Tier 2 gave you rare, and tier 1 will give you the green uncommons. every single one of the duty officers in K-13 can do, oops, wrong one, can do this special school. So you can, when you hit level 15, the special weapon is the arc beam array, the 360-degree beam array. Cannons has a wide angle dual heavy cannon. Engineering has the has the RCS conductive accelerator, which is, got a couple of those right here, which are these. These are much better than a regular RCS. They give you shield resistance and a better turn rate. And if you happen to crit, you'll get one with a special ability at the end, and that's totally random and cannot be changed at this time. Actually, I don't see it ever. I think that's going to be a random forever. But depending on what your ship is, that may, the hull repair may be good for you, especially if you're doing a tank build. There's others for boosting auxiliary power or weapons power or engine power or shield. There's lots and lots of modifiers. So those are always nice. The other one, ground, you will get the TR-116B sniper rifle. Excellent Borg weapon. This one is 100%. Matter of fact, I need to create one for my... Oh, I critted. Excellent. This one has 4 times the shield pin. And then it's usually damaged too. I happen to get, because this one critted, I got a crit D on top of it. But 100% shield penetration. It's all kinetic damage. These are excellent against Borg because Borg cannot adapt to kinetic damage. Therefore, these are awesome against them. Kit modules, there are different kits, and I will go over this in a different video at one time. But these are all pretty good. Projectile, you get the particle emission plasma torpedo, which is an awesome torpedo, especially if you're running a science build, because it does radiation damage and it creates a cloud which slows down the enemy. So it actually slows down their turn rate and their speed. So this is actually a very good, especially if you're doing a torpedo build. The science console is the exotic particle field exciter, a basic one. Oops, found a basic one. There we go. It increases your EPG with a little bit of shield capacity, and then it gives a little bit of weapon power when you activate a shield heal. Of course, then there's this one right here. Yeah, the EPG. This one is this is like the granddaddy of them all. If you can get the EPG, this one, I think the last time I looked on the exchange, was going for 80 million. Let's see what it's going for. I'm just curious. This was actually going to be used by my agent of discovery because she's 83 million. So that's a awesome one. Let's see, perception. This is a low end one, 500,000. So as you can see, those just a basic one I think is 3. You can get a basic one on the exchange for, they're dropping in price. I think they were like 300, so they're coming down a little bit. But depending on what modifier you get, that one's almost 1 million, so that one's not too bad. But it gives you resistance to disruptor. So again, that EPG one is going to my science character. So she's hanging on to it. Collect. And I need one more science kit. Need the... yeah. But this is what I usually do for my new characters. I will come to this character and she will create all of the low-level gear so that I can, and like I said, then you go ahead and I'll go ahead and do this. Upgrade with the Phoenix Tech. I only need 104 to make it Mark III. So this is going to be a whole, again, this will take it up to usually Captain ability, Captain, and maybe even Mark 11. Right now I'm just going to apply it. I will not upgrade it because then it will become unusable by my new character because she can only do up to Mark II. But I just wanted to show you that. So, but it is possible because right, look, there's a 4% chance that this can increase in rarity. Well, that means that by the time it gets up to Captain, and I have had this happen only twice in all my characters, it actually went gold before it completed out that one Phoenix upgrade. So these are highly, highly nice. Short of fleet gear, you know, ultra rare is the best you can look at, and very rare you have to upgrade to. Go ahead and just get these ready to be. But I will create for ships, I will create the tactical consoles and the science consoles, engineering. You can actually go ahead and start crafting the shields, warp core, impulse, and deflector. Especially if you don't have one, because these are also highly, highly sought after. You can also take these and sell them on the exchange. Just curious right now how much would say alright, yeah, these are going for about 170,000. So this is a quick and easy way to make EC too. Notice these are all Mark II. It's like, well, it took me just a few minutes to make one. I have all the very basic components to make them. So that's actually a pretty good return. RCS, how much do they go for? 150. So they're all about equal in what they're worth. Oh, that one. Oh, those are purple. Purple, 250. Yeah, I usually create my weapons, my consoles, and all of my. Let's see. I need an engine. And it really doesn't matter, but I usually go with combat for first, mostly because it's better at low power levels. Well, at your new tunes, you're not going to have very much power. If you do the standard everything into weapons, I think your engines go to 50%. So actually, either a combat or just the plain impulse, the balanced impulse. Either one will do well for a starred character. The hyper impulse, you probably not, because you're not going to set that much power into your engines. So either of these work well. I usually go with the combat. And we'll start that one. And you can get various mods. Turn ×2, very good for a low-level tune. Again, your ships do not turn very fast. So that's, then I need a warp core. Usually the plasma integrated is what I usually go with because it doubles your base regeneration rate for all starship power levels. That helps in your efficiency. This is very good at low levels when you don't really have a lot of powers and everything, and you're firing off shots, so it helps to replenish it a little bit faster. Hopefully I'll get it lucky. Yes, I got one with a sector speed. Very good. That helps. I'm also going auxiliary to weapons. Also good. And then engine capacitor. So this one will give me an engine boost. Let's see. What else? Oh, science. I need a deflector. Alright, 4 types of deflectors: graviton, neutrino, positron, and tachyon. They each have different things. This one will improve your ability to control and subdue your foes. Well, at low level, you don't really have a lot of control abilities. I mean, that's better for, especially if you're going for a science build. That one is probably the best one as it upgrades and as your captain upgrades, because then you don't have to worry about it later. The neutrino is good for defensive. So, shield buffs, hull buffs. Positron, designed for healing, repairs, and support. So that one's actually a good one also. And of course, the last one, tachyon, is good for offensive. So this will give buffs to some of your powers and maybe debuffs. I'm going to go with graviton because this is a science character. Ooh. Unfortunately, the things here do not reflect here, but I have a control expertise ×2, so this one is very good. And then I think that's a science cooldown. I'll have to wait. Let's see if I actually have to wait till I pull it up till it finishes, till I can look at it. Oh, and a shield. Space shield. I usually go with either covariant or the resilient. The resilient has less bleed through, and that makes it very good, but it does not have as big a capacity. So it's got they all have their pluses and minuses. Covariant is the biggest capacity, but it recharges very slow. I'm just going to go with resilient, plasma, polaron, and tetryon. And of course, these are rerollable. You can change these if needed. So there we go. There will be my space set. And actually, because I purchased the special starter pack, the Age of Discovery starter pack, I actually can get, let's see, ships, tier 1, I actually get this ship, which is, so far, from what I've seen, is awesome. It's basically a ship that levels with you from tier 1 to tier 4, or tier 3. Nope, up to tier 4, excuse me. So everything on it actually scales with it. So actually I didn't have to do the weapons. I don't have to, technically I don't think you have to do anything with it. I think you can actually take it the way it is and everything scales, but it scales white. So you don't get any of the extra bonuses, but at least then you don't really have to. But again, I prefer to have this. Again, turn rate will help me, the sector speed will help me. This one, not so much at first, but as later, when I get up to captain, and I start getting some really better bridge officer powers, this one will be very good for my science character. So that's about it. This video ran a little bit longer than I expected, but there's lots of information to give out, and I'm hoping this is, if not interesting, maybe someone learned something. So until next time, good flying and good luck.